What's up, guys? It's your boys Awoki back out with another chriswatts video. And today, I don't want to watch every single AI video that there is. I know that you guys are getting annoyed with them. I'm getting annoyed with them. But we're going to watch this one because this one's a pretty big, tall boy order of a title. Stating, chriswatts, I had my reasons, and I'll do it again. No remorse. Say what? We're going to watch this one. It's from True Dark Crime Lab. And not all of the AI channels are completely out of this world on some of the stuff that they talk about when it comes to the chriswatts case. But this channel, I feel that it's more genuine. But this one definitely takes the cake. So, before we go any further, make sure you guys are subscribed to my YouTube channel by hitting that wiper icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it. So when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video. Then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you guys so much for the love and support that you guys continuously show on my channel. I can't thank you guys enough. And keep doing what you guys are doing. Show that same love over at True Dark Crime Lab. And again, if you don't want to watch with me, I completely understand. Not a lot of people can watch a reaction commentary and a channel that gives their own opinion. But if you don't want to watch with me, link is in the description. Go over there, watch on their channel, the True Dark Crime Lab. But for those that want to watch with me, let's get into the video. I feel like I'm watching the movies. Okay.
I mean, right now I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. But I mean, could she just taken off? I don't know. But if somebody has her and they're not safe, like, I want them back now. Like that's what's in my head. Like, if they're safe right now, they're gonna come back. But if they're not safe right now, that's the not knowing part. Like,
I've heard toddlers talk better than this.
If they're not safe, last night I had every light in the house on. I was hoping that I would just ran over by the kids running in the door and just like barrel rushing me, but it didn't happen. And it was just a traumatic night trying to be here.
The lights were probably on because there was probably the demons coming after you and talking to you in your head, and he just didn't want to be alone.
I'm gonna ask some kind of tough questions. Your relationship with your kids.
I mean, my kids are my life. I mean, those smiles light up my life.
The night of the murders. Would it be technically the morning of the murders because it didn't happen until like 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning? So why is it the night of the murders? It would be the night before the murder. I'm getting too far into this. We've seen this over and over. I honestly don't think he has any remorse. I just think he's upset to himself that he got caught. He's like, crap, I got caught. And that probably pissed him off. Oh, by the way, Jesus loves you. We're gonna skip that. We've seen this footage over and over and over. You're floating during after all I could feel was now I was free to be with Nikki. I felt no remorse. The night of the pregnant dumped into the ground. I heard every last thing. The screams Bella made, and that it makes me want to hit him. Like, I want to give him a few good decks right in the Right here. Just like that. Chris doesn't care. Orange looks good on him. The orange jumpsuit.
They say a murderer's eyes change the moment the act is done. But what about the man whose eyes don't? The man who can smile into a camera, talk about his missing children, and never flinch, because in his mind, nothing was lost. The man who writes from behind bars, all I could feel was now I was free. Not free from prison. Not free from guilt. Free from them.
Shenanigans.
This is the story of Chris Watts, not the sanitized version you've heard before, not the courtroom timeline. This is the story he tells himself. The story where killing his pregnant wife and 2 little girls wasn't a mistake, but a necessity. The day before their deaths, he tucked his daughters into bed and thought.
See, that part just gets me bothered, because if somebody is going to know that they're going to commit murder of their family, would they put them in bed and tuck them in and read them bedtime stories? Like, that's where it gets me to believe more towards the NK took care of that problem, is what she thought. If you didn't care anymore about your family, would you take care of them? I don't know.
That's the last time. And it didn't haunt him. It prepared him. For the next few minutes, you will see his face, hear his words, and watch the moments his body betrayed him. And by the end, you will understand the most dangerous kind of killer there is, the one who feels...
Yeah, he wants to get out because he feels that God needs him out in the real world, in the freedom world, to do more things. But then I had my reasons. I won't do it, or I will do it again, and no remorse. Do you really want that kind of a person out on the streets, including you know who, that made a deal with the devil and made a deal with the police officers? Nicole Ketchinger?
No remorse and would do again.
This is him at 517.
And if you look at the same time, 8:13 at 8 o'clock, at 8:39, he's texting Nicole while he's watching this.
We usually park out there on the side. I just want to get everything back in. The heaters are lugging everything out there, all the tools that I had to bring in.
Cue the panic.
What else can I do with this?
Like right there, he wants to go. He's out. He's ready to pack his stuff up and go.
My detective just showed up.
What can I do with
he'll
this?
probably want to talk to you. He probably, like I said, he might maybe call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there was any sort of action out there,
His camera's
I would have got it.
Like
Right.
we had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that. And I parked my truck
I had
here.
it parked right here.
Yeah. So someone,
See if
I can see
anything
where someone tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver over there.
But he didn't go to the insurance company to claim for those tools. Why wouldn't you? Unless the tools were not even taken. You had to have pictures. You had to have receipts. Like if somebody stole something out of my truck, tools, expensive tools, I'm going to call the insurance company on it.
And it was just like,
But if any action would have happened, any cars or anything left your house, I would
if
have
it would
got
have
it.
been like right in that area, it should have,
Oh, it'll pick up anything coming down the street this way.
you know where that tree there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll show you. There's nothing.
If it's his work and his livelihood, he has to have had insurance on it. Had to.
Everybody watch that one. But like, you'll see this car.
I have insurance in this whole room, including my tools that I have in my garage. Everything that I have value with, including my family, I have insurance on. You put insurance on your assets. Somebody disagreed with me yesterday on the video that I posted. They're like, you can't put insurance on tools. Yes, you can.
What security system do you have?
You can see this car starting to drive down the street.
Right one.
Did he just say that's a pretty big TV?
Starting to drive down the street.
Right one.
Oh, look.
You can see this car. But like, you'll see this car.
What security system do you have?
You can see this car.
Oh, what kind of security system do you have?
Night one.
Oh, what? See what I'm saying? They picked up all
That's
three.
kind of a weird question.
He's next door.
Can we go?
I was talking about dispatcher. Yeah, be close for.
Yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making this turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the car pulling a U-turn. So, unless they pulled right here, but I would have caught her walking out. Diesel.
It was supposed to be a plea for help. A desperate husband standing in front of cameras, begging for the safe return of his missing family. But even before the words left his mouth, something was wrong. The eyes didn't match the words. The mouth betrayed the weight of the moment, curling upward, not down. The voice was steady, smooth, almost pleasant. Most fathers in his position can barely speak through the storm in their chest.
Oh, I would have been.
Chris Watts spoke like a man.
I would have been a blubbering mess. I would have not been able to do interviews. First of all, I would have never murdered my family, but I would not be able to do interviews. I would be looking for them. I would be tearing apart the world to find my kids.
Who just finished small talk.
And my spouse.
In that televised interview, the world saw the mask. Polite, composed, agreeable. But for those who knew the signs, they also saw the fracture. A subtle shrug as he spoke his wife's name. A fleeting smirk when recalling the last time he saw his daughters. A micro-expression of relief. The kind that escapes when a burden is lifted. The burden was them. Experts would later freeze those moments frame by frame.
I don't know where they went. Like, what are you doing, dude?
They would slow the footage until every tiny shift of his lips, every dart of his eyes, every breath became undeniable. This was not the face of a man grieving. It was the face of a man holding onto a secret and savoring it. He told the cameras there was no way he could harm his family. But his body whispered something else entirely. The psychologist watching at home knew it. The body language analyst knew it. And deep down, so did the millions of viewers who couldn't explain why their stomachs tightened when they saw him. It was because the truth was already there, in the corners of his mouth, in the calmness of his voice, in the stillness of his hands. The truth that this wasn't a man in shock.
He talks like he doesn't know what he's saying. Does that make sense? Like, he's talking before he's thinking. He like talks, he's like, oh crap, probably shouldn't have said that. Oh, I'm going to say more. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I shouldn't have said that either. Like, he's talking without thinking.
This wasn't a man searching. This was a man who believed the search was over. And in that moment, Chris Watts became something far more dangerous than a suspect. He became a man rehearsing innocence, knowing he could wear it again.
It's not gonna work, baby.
Too late.
Oh yeah?
Cece, get on daddy.
Set up for what?
Come on, Cece. No? No?
Let's do push-ups.
Oh.
Let's do push-ups.
So I get in
Coral,
front?
you getting in front?
You get in front?
Let's do push-ups. Come here.
These are the memories that I'll always love. And hearing her voice, just that small, cute voice. Like, I remember my son when he said certain things, kind of like what she said, and that just sticks with you as a good parent. And I don't know how he couldn't have thought their voices, their little fingers around his their little fingers around his finger when they were born. Like, those are the things that just stick with you. And how could he not think about that? Think about his two little kids and how he was going to be able to do it with Nico. I would have been floored. But yet, I want to be with a new woman and start over.
You just do supervising? You good?
All right.
Cool.
No purse, Cece.
No
Hold on to
purse.
daddy.
Don't do
This
it.
is what the Rive Duo does. Cece.
Oh my gosh.
Rive Duo with Cece. Sorry, guys, for the loud screaming. Your mom's on, Christina. Hi, Mama.
Now you're down.
They want to do that again. Coral, say hi to your grandma.
Say hi, Grandma. Say hi, Grandma.
Say hi.
Say hi.
You guys ready? Yeah? Okay.
Bella, Cece, say hi, Nana, Papa, and Mimi and Papa. Okay, Daddy's not going to do it if you keep falling off. Look in the camera. Right here, look here.
Hey, Papa.
He's not on there. We're watching a video.
Okay.
You silly goose. You guys,
Was that
see?
Cece?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, if you
No, I
fall
did.
off, we're not going to do it anymore, okay?
There, you good?
Yes,
We make it. Watch this.
watching.
I'm enjoying it.
Earplugs.
Not even with earplugs.
Earplugs.
Other one.
That is perfect. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
You gotta do like a side brother?
That's done. I can't hear a thing.
You're so alive.
Oh.
Jeez.
100 miles an hour. I'm gonna do it again.
You're losing audience, Chris.
Turn,
just start doing
turn
something.
the camera around.
Why don't you do pull-ups?
No, I'm good. Gotta catch these two. Do it again? Okay. Put it down to the hut. Now, CC? Oh. Collision.
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh my god. Oh!
Thank God you duo.
Try plus duo. All the way to go. Oh!
He's out of breath. Where'd
You
Coral
alright?
go?
You gonna do it?
Probably getting into
This is how you get them to go to sleep.
Cece's out of breath.
I'm out of breath too. Kinda.
No, I don't need
Come on, Cici.
Oh!
Alright, no more running.
High fives?
Come say hi, Nana, Papa. Mimi, Papa.
Yes, she's yucky.
You can tell she had so much little sass.
Yucky.
Cece?
Uncle, Ducky.
Yucky? Good job.
One. Want to chase me?
You want Dad to do a push-up
Come on,
again?
chase me.
How many chase or push-ups?
Chase me.
Okay.
Okay. Say goodbye to Nana.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye to
I'll
everybody.
chase you.
Bye.
You're so sweet. Cece, blow kisses. You're adorable.
The smile was for the
That's so
cameras.
cute.
The words were for himself. A pen glides over lined paper in a prison cell. The page is quiet. The room is quiet. But the sentences it holds are louder than
That silence is what's killing him right now.
any interview he's ever given. All I could feel was now I was free to be with Nikki. I felt no remorse.
No hesitation, no apology.
Not even the faint suggestion that this freedom came at the cost of 3 lives. In these letters to a woman named Sherilyn Cadle, Chris Watts describes his murders not as a breakdown, but as a breakthrough. He does not speak like a man confessing. He speaks like a man explaining and expecting to be understood. This is the psychology of liberation. When the act that should destroy you instead becomes the thing that defines you. When the blood on your hands is not a stain,
But he doesn't want to be defined by the one bad moment in his life. He wants to be defined as the good that he used to do. But that bad moment in his life definitely is a lot heavier than his normal life. So
key. The letter moves from facts to feelings, and the feelings are not grief. They are relief. Relief that the life he'd built was gone. Relief that the obstacles between him and another woman had been erased. Relief that, in his mind, the problem was solved. There's no moral conflict here. No midnight wrestling with guilt. Just the calm retelling of an act he still believes made sense. And here is where the danger deepens. Because when a man rewrites murder into necessity, he doesn't lock the door on it. He leaves it wide open. If this was his solution once, it could be his solution again. These pages aren't confessions. They're justifications. And the difference is the reason this
that's why he's in prison.
story doesn't end in 2018.
Thank
You for the birds
Girls, thank you for the sweet.
Thank you for the food we eat. Thank you for the birds that sing. Thank you, God, for everything. Amen.
Knuckles.
The night before the murders, there was no argument, no shouting, no slammed doors, just the quiet routine of a father tucking his daughters into bed. In the stillness of that moment, most parents would linger, a hand resting on a small back, a whisper of I love you, a silent prayer for the days ahead. But Chris Watts walked away with something else in his mind. That's the last time I'm going to be tucking my babies in. Not a stray thought, not a passing shadow, a decision. He knew what was coming. He had decided what was coming, and he did nothing to stop it. This is not the mindset of someone who snaps in the heat of rage. This is the mindset of someone who can live with their choice before they make it. Someone who can look into the eyes of the people they plan to kill and feel nothing that might change their mind. That is what makes this moment more terrifying than the crime itself. Because a man who can plan in perfect calm can plan again. When remorse is absent, hesitation disappears with it. The moral brakes are gone. There's only the decision and the follow-through. This bedtime was not a memory to treasure. It was a box to check.
And he was
And by the
talking
next
to-
morning, Chris Watts
He was talking to Nicole Kessinger of the 111-minute phone call, the explosion phone call.
Was ready to erase the life that had been his, without a single crack in his composure.
Thank you so much for coming out here with me, Christopher. I'm having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me, and I'm glad that you're having a blast. I am so out of breath.
Guilt is heavy. It weighs on the body. It slows the tongue. It keeps a man awake at night. But guilt was never welcome in Chris Watts' story. Instead, he found a different weight to carry and to blame. Her name was Nicole Kessinger. In his letters from prison, Watts does not describe her as a woman he loved and lost. He calls her Jezebel. The name is biblical, a symbol of seduction and ruin. A woman who tempts a man into sin and leaves destruction in her wake. It is a title chosen with precision. It makes him the victim of her influence, the pawn in her game. If she is Jezebel, then he's simply...
It's still thing. I mean, yeah, these AIs know how to write, but man, they do know how to write. And it's pretty much like what you want to say on paper.
The man who fell under her spell. It is easier to say you were led astray than to admit you chose the path yourself. Easier to point to someone else's hands than to see your own. In his narrative, she is the reason the murders happened. The one who stood between him and happiness, unless he erased the life he had.
Chris looks like a feet guy.
He writes as though the choice was inevitable. Once she entered his world. But here is the danger. When blame is shifted, responsibility dissolves. And when responsibility dissolves, the act loses its moral weight. A man who sees himself as a victim of temptation will never truly see himself as the villain. And if he is not the villain, then the crime is not his to regret. This is how justification grows. This is how a man can kill and keep the capacity to do it again. Not because he doesn't know it was wrong, but because in his mind, someone else made it.
If he's willing to murder his family, he's willing to take anybody out. The one that he should have had the most feelings for, his family, but yet he removed them. So you think he's not going to do it again?
Happen. And as long as that belief lives in him, remorse never will.
So it was completely clear that you were not honest during the testing. I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test. Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened.
Well, then Google lied to me.
I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Cue the back cop.
I'm never so. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
Your last breath as a free man.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I can tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this. And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you were...
I get ill when I make, or not when I make, but when I like really have to discipline my kids when it comes to like, you need to do this right. You need to, I don't know what you're doing. We need to fix this so you don't grow up to be this. Like, you don't want to say the wrong thing, first of all. And second of all, if you do say something that you regret later on, that really hurts me because I said that to my child and I probably shouldn't have. Where like one time I was like, I'm very disappointed when I could have said it a little bit better, in a better way. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I'm a bad parent or if I'm doing it right. And this guy murders his family, has no flinch at all.
We're going to pass today, and you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what? I just need to get this off my chest. Like, I just need to tell you what happened. We're not here to play games. We're not here to do any of that with you. We just want to know what happened.
Come on, Chris.
Can you start from the beginning and tell us what happened?
Everything that I've told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I can
Come on, Chris.
Tell you right now, like, I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph, so I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. That's the issue right now.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about that. I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like, okay. I'm not like trying to like cover things up. Like,
yeah, but you kind of are because it's normal. Normal people would do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I can't be with Nicole then.
Do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. It's just like if you ask your kid, you know, did you write on the wall? And they go, no. And you're like, you have a marker on your hand. Like, I know you just wrote on the wall. And they're like, oh, okay. That's a natural reaction.
She's literally saying, we caught your hand in the cookie jar, Chris, and you're telling us you didn't take a cookie?
That someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
More like the rubber meets his head.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them back home. Like,
but you know where
but
they are.
You know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But you know they're not.
I hope they come back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know they're not coming back home.
Man, to see what she sees right now.
Okay. And here's what we're confused about. I told you that we've done some work overnight.
Yeah.
I told you that we've got a lot of leads. Okay, that wasn't a lie.
I know.
We know a lot more than you think we do. Okay. We know a lot more than you think we do. Okay. And here's where we're confused. You're this great guy. I'm not just telling you that. Okay. I'm telling you that because everyone tells us that. Okay. We can't find anyone saying anything bad about you. Chris is
He's trying to be buds with him, try to get him to open up.
a great guy. He's a good father. He's a good man.
You give him all this good stuff, and then they're like, I am kind of a good guy. Well, I murdered. Yeah, that's pretty much how the tactic works.
Confused as to why you're not taking care of your beautiful children.
I'm not taking care of them right now.
Right now. Where are they?
I don't know where they're at. Honestly, I do not know where they're at. If I could have my babies back home right now, I would. I want them back. I want everybody back.
There you go.
That is God's honest truth.
So now he's cursing on God.
And, well, no, that's not her. You're her.
Say it louder for the people in the back there, Chris.
Did they leave after that for a long time? So she started her kids.
Here comes the lies.
Some people lie like it's a reflex. For Chris Watts, it was an art. On the day of the polygraph, he walked into the room with the calm of a man who believed he could outsmart the truth. There was no trembling, no eyes darting to the floor, no visible panic. He answered questions about his missing wife and children with the same steady rhythm, as if he were reciting his address. The polygraph needles told a different story. They scratched across the paper, recording the silent war between his words and his body. And in that war, his body was losing. When the results came back, the test was clear. He had lied. Faced with the
-4 he had to have. He had a -18.
evidence, most people collapse under the weight of exposure. But Watts didn't confess. Instead, he built a new lie, one even colder than the first. He claimed Shannon had killed
And we're still getting lies.
the girls, and that he, in a rage, had killed her in return. It was a calculated choice. Shifting blame onto a woman who could no longer speak for herself, while painting himself as a father avenging his children. This was not the story of a man breaking under guilt. This was the story of a man trying to survive at any cost, even if it meant rewriting his crime into an act of twisted justice. That is the mark of someone who can repeat. If the truth can be reshaped to protect him once, it can be reshaped again. If the villain can be made to look like a hero, the same trick can be played on a new stage. And when survival is the only compass, there is no moral line that cannot be crossed again.
Why is there no audio?
We get through here.
That's another thing that upsets me every time. Poor Dieter, he's like, what's happening? He doesn't know what's happening to his world.
Anybody else show up?
I'm glad he's where he's at.
There's a few news crews up there.
With Frankie Jr.
So yeah, somebody else showed up.
Hey, look, now they're got gloves on.
Yeah, so where's the Bella's is the one over here.
Sorry, guys, if this is loud on your TV. And then in paper bags, it's such a no-no. Or in plastic bags. That's how you ruin evidence right there.
Mess with that. That was a fan. This is motion on here.
What was that ding? The beep.
This is what we need to be real careful about. I got to take a lot of pictures of his perspective.
Why is that a big concern? Like when he pointed at the table, he's like, we really got to look at this, and this is a big concern. Talk about the camera or the surveillance system that they had for the girls. Sorry, guys. Just shut up. Talk about the dog.
Make sure that truck gets loaded up correctly. Okay. We don't have the keys that I'm aware of. Okay, just gonna. You just know that. Okay. Yeah, if you, I don't. Because I'll stop up here.
Words can be rehearsed. Expressions can be imitated. But the body tells the truth. From the moment police first entered Chris Watts' home, the footage was quietly collecting evidence, not just of the scene, but of the man himself. While officers moved through the rooms, asking questions, Watts stood with a posture.
Maybe they're just taking evidence, or they're just doing this, making it look like, oh, we're doing something, but we already know he's screwed and we're going to convict him anyways, but we're going to make it look like we are taking evidence. Maybe?
That seemed almost casual. Hands resting loosely, shoulders relaxed, breathing steady. He talked about his missing wife and daughters, as though describing a change in the weather. Not the terror of a father who has lost everything. At times, a smirk would flicker, there, then gone, as if some private thought had cut through the conversation. When discussing the last time he'd seen his family, his voice didn't strain or break. It flowed smoothly, unshaken. Later, in the interrogation room, the pattern continued, leaning back in his chair, joking with investigators in small moments, even letting out short bursts of laughter when questions circled too close to the truth. Grief has a weight. It bends the spine. It slows the eyes. But on that footage, Chris Watts stood tall, spoke easily, and moved with the lightness of someone not carrying the burden he claimed to. Experts call it incongruent effect, when the emotions you show don't match the situation you're in. To the untrained eye, it can be unsettling. To those who study behavior, it could be a warning. Because a man who feels relief instead of remorse is a man who could find relief in the same way.
That's another reason why a lot of these videos of Chris Watts kind of help out, because then you can kind of see the signs and see if your spouse is doing something kind of like Chris was doing, and if there's a mistress, and if there's so if a man has a guy, what is that called? A mister? I just
again.
She's like, hey, go.
Dieter.
Get him, CC. Say, Dieter. Oh, she's about to get out of her seat and go get him. Get serious. You show him your flag. I'll come get you.
Be nice, you see.
see Bella's like learning her sensory
Dieter?
things and trying to see
Down,
things.
Dieter.
It's just interesting to watch kids
Thank
like
you.
learn with their or like watching your kid watch you say something or how to teach them, and they're kind of like they tilt the head like a dog does because they're learning. And it's just I feel some joy, or I feel so much joy when my child learns from me, and it just I don't know, is it bad that I enjoy that? That I'm creating this human to take on our family name.
Here comes Dieter.
There's a category of killer that even seasoned investigators fear, not because of how violent they are, not because of how many lives they've taken, but because of what they can still do. The unrepentant. FBI profilers describe them as offenders whose response to murder is not horror, but satisfaction. For them, The act is not a wound that festers. It's a clean cut, neatly justified, quickly forgotten. They sleep at night. They smile in the morning. And if the right circumstances come again, so can a crime. Chris Watts fits this profile with disturbing precision. He reframed his murders into an act of liberation. He shifted blame onto the dead and the living to lighten his own weight. He carried premeditation like it was a plan for the weekend.
If there was a flag for Chris Watts as a king, it'd be this one. King of red flags.
Not the destruction of his family. He could stand in front of cameras and wear grief like an outfit, put on for the occasion, taken off when no longer needed. These are not isolated traits. They are markers. Signals that investigators look for in the small percentage of offenders who could, if given the opportunity, do it again. History holds their names. Men and women who killed once, convinced themselves it was necessary, and then, when life presented a new problem, reached for the same solution. The absence of remorse is not a quirk. It is a gap where conscience should be. And in that gap, anything can grow. For Chris Watts, what grew was the belief that he had his reasons. And for someone like him, reasons are never hard to find.
So the court has considered the arguments made by the attorneys. The court has considered the statements made by the victims in this case. The court's going to find that the plea agreement is fair and reasonable under the circumstances. I want to acknowledge the Rusick family as well as the Watts family that showing mercy on Mr. Watts is understood. And I respect that decision to request that the district attorney not seek the death penalty in this case. And so the court is going to accept this plea bargain under the circumstances.
I really hate plea bargains. I don't know about you. I don't think these kind of people should get plea bargains. Maybe, okay, somebody steals some money. Maybe a plea bargain, but for murder, pedophilia, rape, or all that stuff, no. They don't get plea deals. No.
Words that come to mind when I hear the evidence in this case are a senseless crime and the viciousness of the crime. And equally aggravating in this court's determination is the despicable act of disposing of the bodies in the manner in which they were done in this case. I've been a judicial officer now for starting my 17th year, and I could objectively say that this is perhaps the most inhumane and vicious crime that I have handled out of the thousands of cases that I have seen. And nothing less than a maximum sentence would be appropriate, and anything less than the maximum sentence would depreciate the seriousness of this offense.
He has a way with words.
So the court is going to sentence Mr. Watts as follows. With regard to count number 1, murder in the first degree as it relates to Shanann Watts, the court is going to sentence you, sir, to a life sentence in the Colorado Department of Corrections, followed with no possibility of parole. And that is going to run consecutively.
So that means for those people that believe Chris Watts will get out, he's never getting out.
To all but counts 3 and 4. With regard to count 2, as it relates to murder in the first degree, with Bella, the court is going to sentence you to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole. With regard to count number 3, the court is going to sentence you as it relates to Celeste to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole.
So much.
With regard to counts 4 and 5 relating to Bella and Celeste as a different theory of first-degree murder, the court is going to sentence you to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections, and legally those sentences must run concurrently as a different theory of first-degree murder. Recognizing the unlawful termination of pregnancy for the unborn child that has been named Nico, the court absolutely believes that the maximum sentence of 48 years would be appropriate to run consecutive to the other charges, with an additional mandatory parole period of...
No, you should give him a day. After those 3 life sentences, give him a day where it's not consecutive. Give him a day off, you know? After those 3 life sentences. Just give him a day where he could be free.
3 years as set forth by
I hope you heard the sarcasm.
statute.
After 3 life sentences.
With regard to count number 7 as it relates to tampering with a deceased body, as well as counts 8 and 9, each a class 3 felony, the court is going to impose a maximum sentence of 12 years each for those counts to run consecutively to the other counts.
Some prison sentences end with a date on a calendar. Others end when the man who serves them takes his last breath.
And speaking of the death penalty, there was a case that I just watched this morning. It was a guy that stabbed a 14-year-old girl to death in 2001. He was just executed 9 days ago. Excuse me, what? That man lived 24 years before getting executed. What? Why are we waiting 24 years?
But the sentence Chris Watts wrote for himself has no end. It exists in his own words. In the page where he said killing his family made him feel free. In the quiet moment where he decided bedtime would never come again. In the letters where he blamed others for the choice that was entirely his. In the smirk he couldn't suppress. In the calm he carried through every lie. These are not just pieces of case file. They are reminders. Reminders that this is the kind of man who can rewrite reality until murder feels like reason. And when you believe you had a reason once, it doesn't take much to find one again. That is what makes the absence of remorse so dangerous. It is not just the lack of guilt for the past. It is the absence of a barrier to the future. Chris Watts will never walk the streets again. But there are others like him who will. Men
And somebody else should be joining him.
and women who carry their justifications like a key, ready to unlock the same door whenever it suits them. You have seen the smile. You have read the words. You have watched the body tell the truth the mouth denied. And now you know what it means when someone says, I had my reasons and I will do it again. This is not just a story about murder. It is a warning about the mind that feels nothing after.
And I feel that same way with Nicole. She's willing to destroy a family. She's going to find somebody that she wants, and she doesn't care what will happen as long as she gets what she wants.
Because when the remorse is gone, the reason is always just one decision away.
Really makes you think. Between him stating that, oh, I'm so sorry, and I wish I could give them my life for theirs, and all those things that he wanted to say at that interview in February. And it's disgusting that he says that, but he portrays, I'll do it again, or I'll do it to somebody else. I'm willing to murder my family. I'm willing to murder anybody. It's just no remorse. It's like once a murder, always a murder. I mean, you can't come back from being a murderer. If you take a life, do you think you can come back from that? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to give the like button a try. Share with your friends, share with your family, or anybody you guys know. And we will see you guys in the next video. Please take care, be safe. As always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video.